Welcome back to the Ginger Transformer podcast. This is Mega Ginge, and this is the last topic we'll be covering because I think we've covered literally everyone from Autobots and Decepticons all the way down now to the Vehicons. That's what this one is about. It's about the Vehicons who only really ever make a debut in Beast Machines. After that, we'll see where we go after this. Could be unboxings, could be more podcasts with just random Transformer stuff. We'll see at the time. But as of right now, on to the Vehicons. At the end of Beast Wars, and you find that these events out in Beast Machines, it's like a mystery through the first season to how they wound up back in Cybertron, why can't they remember things, why are they back in their old animal modes. But at the start of the you find all that out, but I'm just going to summarise it for you just now. At the end of the Beast Wars, they find an Autobot shuttle on board the Ark, which is why the Autobots don't have a shuttle come Generation 1. They leave for Cybertron with Beast Wars Megatron in tow as their prisoner. No other Predacons having seemingly survived the Beast Wars themselves. On their way though, Megatron, they've got him attached to the outer hull of the ship. Just put him in a cage or something. But no, they've got him attached to the outer hull of the ship. And once they go through this little transwarp corridor to get home, he escapes. So some sort of wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff happens, and they come flying out of the vortex and crash. What has happened here is Megatron has went back in time ever so slightly from their destination point, and he has created the Vehicons, armies of mindless, sparkless machines, and he's basically used them to round up all the Cybertronians and remove their sparks, put them in a giant well of sparks. Bodies are seen just littered about in Beast Machines, the TV show. One that looks like could be Blue Streak, could be Prowl, could be Smokescreen. They all have the same type of body. It'd be like trying to identify a seeker, But you see them all just they're not per se dead. They're just deactivated. Their sparks have been removed, And throughout the few seasons that there are of Beast Machines, these Vehicons hunt down Optimus Primal and his fellow survivors. Now, the Vehicons, like I said, they're not Cybertronian per se, they're just machines used by Megatron to do hunting. One's a tank, one is a jet, and one is a motorcycle, and there are armies of these. Eventually, Megatron realizes he's going to have to give one of each type a brain because the Maximals are outsmarting him at every turn. So he takes 3 random sparks and puts them in 3 random shells. One becomes Tankor, aka Rhinox, who once he retrieves his memories decides that Megatron's grand plan is right. And I'll say this right now, I also agree, Megatron's plans here were the best for Cybertron. I don't know what happened to Primal, I don't know if he was brainwashed by whatever the hell the Oracle is, but I did not agree with the Maximals agenda for a couple of seasons. I agreed with Megatron, just making Cybertron, a metal planet again, fully metal planet. It's what we've been used to since Generation 1. Like the earliest days of it. Why all of a sudden it had great big patches of organic stuff in it, it wasn't needed. I agreed with Megatron's plan. Right, I'm just going to say that right now. That probably makes me a traitor to a lot of people who are saying you can't support the bad guys. But I fucking do. Anyway, one's Tankor, who was Rhinox, who agrees with Megatron's plan and meets an untimely demise when he tries to replace Beast Wars Megatron. He's already tried that once in the actual Beast Wars program. It didn't go so well for him, but at least it wasn't deactivated. But Tankor is eventually shut down, and Rhinox dies, effectively. We have Thrust, not the Generation 1 Decepticon, but one of the speedster bikes. Black Arachnia is one of the survivors. She joins with the Maximals, and she's convinced that the spark inside Thrust is none other than Beast Wars Silverbolt. And there is someone in there, but it's not him. No. It's Waspinator. And she reactivates Waspinator, gives his old personality back. And once she realizes it's him, she basically just goes, "No, you're better. I don't give a toss about you. Go away. Right? I don't care about you anymore. your life is no longer valuable or precious to me." But it's fair enough. He's Waspinator, so he ends up just back on the Maximal hunt with the rest of the Vehicons. He survives all the way through till the end of Beast Machines, and after the reformatting of Cybertron, he becomes what was dubbed Thrustinator. There wasn't even an official BotCon, or was a TFCC toy about a decade ago. of Thrustinator. It was basically half thrust, half Waspinator, but bits and pieces all jumbled about the body. At the time, I didn't know what that was, and I just thought, what the hell is this garbage? The last of the original Vehicon generals that we see is Jetstorm. Jetstorm. It's one of the two. And he has a spark of Beast Wars Silverbolt, much to the dismay of Black Arachnia, because though he doesn't like being a Vehicon and hunting the Maximals, his personality gets submerged again beneath who he's now become, and ends up hunting the Maximals along with, at this point, Tankor and Thrust for quite some time, until eventually, through Black Arachnia, he becomes his old self again and joins the Maxwells in the fight against Megatron and the remaining Vehicons. As of Season 2, new Vehicons are created. One, a much larger, more sturdy tank, and another one, a faster, more terrifying looking jet. Both of these are these ones kind of take over in Season 2. You don't see as much of the wee tanks or the bikes or anything like that anymore. You don't really see that. You don't see them much once these new ones come into play. And once again, Megatron takes one of each and gives them a spark and says, get out there and kill the Maximals for me. And gives them the sparks of none other than the great Cybertronian generals, Obsidian and Striker. It's not really clear who these great generals, what side they were on at the time. You don't really know, you don't really told. Except the fact they're following someone called Megatron, you can assume they were Decepticon generals. But maybe they're just loyal to him because he brings them back at that point. We don't know. Well, at one point it seems that Megatron's been destroyed. They decide to parley with the Maximals because they have no real interest in continuing a fight if they don't have to. Once Megatron is shown as not dead and is revived as a giant head floating around Cybertron. Incoming message from the big giant head. Yeah, they decide to attack the Maximals once again. What happened to them, I can't really remember. I'm not really sure. I don't know if they were reformatted the same way that Thrustinator was eventually reformatted, or if they were just destroyed by the Maximals during the final battle. I do remember the actual final battle was between Beast Wars Megatron and Optimus Primal, and everyone else was just not there. They just weren't. I think everyone's spark at this point had just been taken bar Primals. And there was a fight between the two of them to, fate a Cybertron kind of stuff. Which, unfortunately for me, because I've always said I didn't agree with the Maximals agenda here, turns Cybertron into a giant techno-organic planet. I didn't like it. It's no, there's no need for it whatsoever. That's the way they decided to go and end the series. That was the end of Beast Machines. Now, there's not a lot much more to say on the Vehicons because really they had a lot of screen time in these seasons, but that's the only television continuity they've been in. Several characters have been in several comics. For example, Obsidian and Striker were both in a BotCon comic where Generation 2 Jaxus was invading Cybertron, and they were the generals. They were the Cybertronian generals fighting back against this invasion. I quite enjoyed it. I've actually got the comic over there. I miss all the BotCon stuff because BotCon just ruled. We also see a few of them in the IDW comics. We definitely see both, once again, Obsidian and Striker, who work for Elita 1 on board the Titan Carcer, who it turns out is the Titan Vigilant, who's a psycho. But they both work for Elita 1. Obsidian is more a confidant, whispering things into her ear, kind of telling him exactly what she wants to hear, basically. Do you think he's guilty? Yes, kill him. And she's going, okay, I'll kill him. And it's yeah, you're a very different character to your Generation 1 one. But then you have Striker, who doesn't really seem to have a giant vocabulary at this point. She just tends to, it's almost faithful to the Beast Machines kind of thing. She just kind of wants to destroy stuff. I mean, she goes toe-to-toe with Devastator without blinking. It's impressive. The only other one that seems to, as far as I've seen, got any sort of time anywhere else in IDW was Tankor, who ironically is a nurse. Let that sink in. He's a nurse. He's helping repair several Autobots and Decepticons who are in CR chambers once the Autobots take power on Cybertron again after the whole Dark Cybertron. No. Before Dark Cybertron, it was basically after the giant Jassault Combiner that took all the sweeps, Galvatron, all the Decepticons, bar Megatron, turned them into some giant devoid robot. And it was after that, and the Autobots had basically, they didn't take it over, but they took up the mantle of fixing everything. And Tankor was there, and he was a nurse. Eventually, he gets called Fast Tankor, and as the other Tankor, aka Octane, says to him, "No, they don't call you Fast Tankor. There is no S in that." And he's like, you're just kidding with me. I'm Fast Tankor. No. You're Fat Tankor. The other one is thin and they're a triple changer. It's basically a way to not confuse the two, but I can actually see a giant triple changing purple Decepticon and one that's a tank. You're not going to get them mixed up. But bar that, I don't think there is anything else in any other comic to do with Vehicons. I think they were very Beast Machines specific, apart from 3 characters who had roles, not big ones, just roles in the IDW verse. Maybe Jetstorm or Jetstream, whatever his name was, and Thrust. Maybe they were in IDW somewhere as background characters. Maybe I've missed them. I'll probably have to read the whole thing again just to check. Yeah, that's pretty much. We've now went through everyone from Autobots, Decepticons, all the way down to Vehicons. Basically, these have all so far, apart from the unboxings, been background podcasts. So next, it'll be who knows? Who knows where I'm going to go? I'll be as surprised as any of you with whatever comes out of my mouth. So that could be fun. But until then, stay safe, roll out, and I'll see you next time.